Hello everybody and welcome back to NCAA 2004, and we are here looking at some BCS Bowl rankings. Ohio State currently leading the charge at 10-0 with no losses, and Maryland right behind them. So as it stands, if Ohio State and Maryland win out, they will be the national championship game, but if either of them loses, then it opens things up for Colorado State and Southern Miss. And then we have Miami, Tennessee, and Arkansas all ahead of us, even though we beat Arkansas in the rankings. And then LSU, our opponent today, sits behind us. So we need quite a bit to happen here if we are even going to get a shot at the title game, which probably is a long shot. But the bowl projections currently has us playing Penn State in the Capital One Bowl, a typical SEC 2 and Big Ten 2. So they're not even projecting us to win the SEC, which is interesting because this game right here, folks, ladies and germs, number 8 versus number 9, this game is currently for the Western Division in the SEC. So LSU is currently, even though they have one loss, it's an out-of-conference loss. I didn't log in and see who they did lose to, but they did lose a game out of conference, and they are still perfect in conference. So they'll flash the standings on the screen in a second. I didn't record it, but they do flash it when LSU exits the tunnel. They will flash it on screen, and you will get to see it there. But it is kind of like a three-horse race in the SEC West, which will kind of determine a lot of things. So there you see LSU is 5-0 in conference. We are 5-1 with a loss to Tennessee, and then Arkansas, of course, is 5-1 with a loss to us. So if we beat LSU today, then that will put us in the driver's seat. And, of course, losing to Auburn would be the only thing that would take us out of the SEC championship game. But if we do beat LSU today and then, of course, beat Auburn, who is very bad this year, then we should still be on track to head to the SEC title game to probably play Tennessee. I would assume we'd have to play Tennessee again in the SEC title game for, what, the third straight year? The third straight year? I think the fourth straight year that Tennessee's gone, but it would be our third straight year going to play Tennessee. So this is kind of a big game, a huge, massive game that we need to win against LSU. So every game is massive at this point to keep our title hopes alive. But and Tim Lewis is doing this, man. Tim Lewis is doing this. Tim Lewis is doing this to start the game. So tracking him down, I think, is Chad Whitaker, and he's going to fumble the football, and Lamont Farrell is going to land on top of it. Or actually, it's Jody Quinn who landed on top of it. So a huge mistake from Tim Lewis, but we managed to get possession back. We would have to punt it away anyway, so LSU is going to get the ball here at their own 45. It's going to be a handoff to their running back, and he is off to the races here, and he's going to get across the 40. And I don't think that's the same running back who won the Heisman last year. LSU had no, it wasn't, because remember, he was unnamed, I think. They had like a fifth-year senior, and he won the Heisman. So LSU's got a new running back behind there, and I think they have a new-look team in general. But pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to make a huge mistake here as it's Kenneth Jenkins off to the races now, and no one is going to catch him. He's got plenty of speed to get into the end zone, and it's a pick six. So both teams exchanging some pretty boneheaded mistakes early in this ball game. And that is going to completely kind of flip things, flip momentum, just kind of flip the energy in this atmosphere here pretty quickly. So a huge mistake by LSU in their new quarterback, who I don't have written down because you'll see why I didn't write down the roster for LSU. You'll see why, but just stick with us here. So 1st and 10 now for LSU late in the first quarter. They're going to try and go for an option play here. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and that was a huge mistake because he's going to fumble the football again, and we are going to land on top of it. So another mistake for LSU is going to give us prime field position in LSU territory. Lamont Farrell up the middle, dragging some guys with him here, getting close to the sticks here. I think he's probably going to be marked about a yard or so short, maybe a couple of inches short here. But yeah, 3rd and inches. So we're going to try and pound it up the middle here with Lamont Farrell again. He's going to get the first down to get brought down at about the 6 or 7 yard line. So we are moving pretty easily on offense. Huge change of style here, change of play here from where we were in the last video against Tennessee. But we still only have one touchdown on the board, and it's courtesy of that Kenneth Jenkins pick six. So with goal to go, we're going to hand this one off to Lamont Farrell, and he's going to punch it in and cap off that drive here, finish what he started. And so we're going to take a 14-0 lead over the Tigers here in Tiger Stadium. So we're taking it to them here on the road. And adding some pointage. So 14-0 over LSU, and on a 3rd and 8, they need to get a first down here, need to get it quite a bit, and their quarterback airmails that one, dude. Just completely airmails that one. I have no idea who he was sending that one to, but Terrence Bates is able to get his hands on that one. So we have prime field position once again on 1st and 10. Lamont Farrell up the middle, dragging guys with him again, man. He just looks bigger, man. Physically, he just looks like the bigger guy out there. I don't know why he looks so much bigger compared to LSU's defense, but he really really does have the size on him. So 2nd and 7 now with just a minute left to go in the half. Tim Lewis running away from pressure on the run. He flips this one out to Chad Whitaker in the end zone. And there were some guys out there, but no one really in position to make a play on the football as Chad Whitaker. Concentration, man. Tim Lewis, man, a throw on the run, and he's been playing kind of sketchy here in the last couple weeks, but I'll give him credit for that play. So 21-0 over LSU here in the first half, and on a 3rd and 10, they can't do anything. And Sick Naban is a sick man because he's going to call timeout. He's going to make LSU punt the ball back. I mean, LSU's really backed up, so that gives us good field position. With 8 seconds left, Tim Lewis drops back. Sick Naban wants a shot at the end zone. Tim Lewis is going to give it to him. Huge deep pass downfield, and it's Chad Whitaker in the end zone for a touchdown. Oh my goodness, 1 second on the clock, and we add more points before the half. We're going to go up 28-0. Or was it Chad Whitaker or was it Thomas Samples? It was Thomas Samples. Excuse me, Mr. Samples, coming down with a huge Hail Mary bomb here. We'll take that one-on-one chance any day, no matter who the receiver on our receiving core is. So 28-0, now the score over LSU, man, after 1 half of play. You got to be kidding me, man. This is like the Tennessee game flipped for us. And another interception, man. George Leon, and he even finds an open lane and gets into the end zone. So George Leon getting himself a pick 6, man, getting himself involved. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love to see it, man. We're getting production from all over the roster, man. Kenneth Jenkins with a touchdown, Terrence Bates with an interception, George Leon with a pick 6. So we've got 14 points strictly just off of interceptions, not even just turnovers, just off of interceptions. So 35-0 over LSU. Their quarterback again, man, just continuing to have a nightmare game. I don't know what is happening, man. Don't know what on earth is happening for LSU, but it is completely unraveling. And there you see why I have not written down the names, man, because it is just, I said written down the names. And on 3rd and 1 here, we're going to give it to Lamont Farrell, and he's going to pick up the first down. Not the touchdown, but he's going to get the first down. So we will have a chance here to add 6 more at least on top of LSU. So on 1st and goal, Tim Lewis going to keep it himself here, fakes the handoff to the fullback and keeps it in and runs it in himself and gets his own rushing touchdown. So we're really just padding the stats in this game, man. Really just padding those stats. And so Tim Lewis gets himself a nice little rushing TD here, about a yard or so. And now we are up 42-0 in Tiger Stadium. 42-0. And number 14 is going to turn the ball over again. He's going to turn the ball over again. He turned the ball over again. He tried to run it himself and fumbled. Dude, get this guy off the field. You guys got to put this guy out of his misery, man. Put the guy out of here. I mean, he's got to get out. I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know why you guys are subjecting him to this. 1st and goal now after the huge turnover from LSU. Tim Lewis going to throw for it. Why not, dude? Why not? And throws it through an absolute, nebulous of players and finds Scotty Mitchell in the back of the end zone for another Bama touchdown. So 49-0 is the score, but LSU is finally going to get some momentum on offense here. They're sticking with 14, dude. He's their guy. They're sticking with him. So I think it does flash his name later on in the game. Maybe I might have edited that play out, but they're sticking with him. He's their guy. So. And he's going to laser this one to the end zone. And why not, man? He can make throws like that. It only took the entire game and 49 points later, but he finally makes a decent throw, I guess. So that's going to be a touchdown for LSU. They're finally going to get on the scoreboard. They will not be shut out. I don't know the history of this series between both teams and in SEC play. If either have ever been shut out, I don't know. That'd be interesting, but it's not going to happen today. So, and now the backups are getting involved, man. The backups are getting involved, and Bentley here. And there it flashes his name, Brewer. Brewer is the quarterback for LSU. If you wanted to know his name, that's his name. So, but Bentley, our backup quarterback, is finally in. The true freshman is finally in this game. And Garrett Lewis is also checked in for the game and getting a first down here. Garrett Lewis is also a senior, so this is probably the most we'll get to see of him left in our time with him. So, unfortunately, we never really got to use him. He was a good prospect, but we never really got to use him that much. So, 49-7 over LSU heading into the fourth quarter. And I know what you're thinking, man. Isn't the game essentially over? Well, yeah, for the most part, but there's still some scoring to do here, and Bentley wants to flash the arm a little bit here, and he finds Eli Hoover, who gets a first down. And again, another name that we don't call much. We called him in the last video. He caught me by surprise again. I'm not used to seeing that number 80 on the field, but Eli Hoover is in the game here. Now, the play action completely throws off the defense here, and Bentley hits Thomas Samples in the back of the end zone for another Bama touchdown, just completely running that score up. The backups cannot be stopped here. You know it's bad when even your backups are better than the starters, man. And I don't know how LSU got up to number 9 in the country, but it was a complete Mickey Mouse ranking, man, because they are not the 9th best team in the country, because if we're the 8th best team, then that means someone screwed up somewhere, man. There can't be that big of a fall off between 8 and 9, man. But we already know we're not the 8th best team in the country either. We know we're probably the 2nd or 1st team. in the country, regardless of what the BCS bowl projections and rankings say, man. It's not us. You know that. You know it's not us. So either way, we do pick up a huge win here, and that should put us in the driver's seat in the SEC West. That should absolutely put us in the driver's seat for the conference, or at least our side of the conference. But again, we still need to win the Iron Bowl again if we want to go to the conference championship game. I will not show the Iron Bowl because, again, Auburn is bad. Auburn is very bad. They're like a 3-win team this year. They're very not good. So when we get back to the Hub World, we will sim through that, and we will get the results of the year so to see what our destiny is. But here is a breakdown of the stats for the game here, and I'm going to show you guys the player stats because they are super fascinating. Super fascinating. Not look at it, bro. No. But look at our stats here. So Bentley gets in and only goes 3 for 4, 56 yards and a touchdown. But Tim Lewis, bro, 5 for 9, 97 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. That's a horrible game. He had like a bad game. And still, dude, because of all the mistakes and turnovers, he didn't even have to play the entire game. That was a terrible game for him. And look at this. Lamont Farrell only 50 yards. Garrett Lewis outgained Lamont Farrell. But still, because of the blowout, he didn't have to play the full game. It's weird. And look at this receiving breakdown. What is this, dude? What is happening? What a weird game, man. And defensively, that's completely where the game was dominated, man. What a weird game. Weird box score, weird everything. Like, just super bizarre, man. But we do, of course, blow out Auburn here in our last home game. That was senior day, too, so saying goodbye to a lot of seniors. Not a ton, but a lot on defense for sure. And we crawl our way up to number 6 in the country, and that's going to pit us against number 17, Tennessee, who lost a game to drop to 10-2. So Tennessee's actually lost their way a little bit further from grace. So they had themselves quite a bit of a gap here in the SEC to still make it to the conference game. So when we come back, we will be looking at that and, of course, doing the SEC championship to see how our season will end. So hope to see you guys there.